Let's start once again. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this next session on ABAP on HANA training. And here we are going to discuss the most asked topic by all of you in the past. I have received almost 20, 30 emails regarding this topic. Anubhav, is it possible to you for you to demonstrate CDS hierarchies? What exactly a CDS hierarchy? How can this be built in conventional BW system in the past, BW on HANA or BW? You used to create hierarchies in your company, and now as you're all seeing a shift in a paradigm shift into the market, most of the companies are moving to S4 HANA. And when it goes to S4HANA, we have now this OLTP and OLAP. Both the systems are combined together in a single box. And this is where most of the BW people are also coming and attending my S4HANA training, because the future is S4HANA. The future is all about building apps or building applications, building analytical queries, building everything on top of ABAP CDS. This is going to be the nature of your future application, or indeed it's already here in the market, and most of the people have already started learning CDS views, and they're getting very good response across the board in their company. So it's a must need for an ABAP developer or a BW developer, or not just that, even you are working as a UI developer. CDS view is also an important topic, because we have semantically rich data model which can supply the data to the user interface, and you can use Fiori elements to generate these user interface automatically. So today's topic, we will be doing a lot of different stuff. We will be talking about what is a CDS hierarchy. We will discuss about CDS annotations. We will discuss about how to use Web IDE full stack, connect to your S4 HANA system. And we also see how to use SAP Fiori annotation editor in Web IDE to annotate and design your user interface, basically a tree table, and then of course consuming an OData service coming out of a CDS out of the box using OData publish annotation of CDS. So this is an end-to-end tutorial, and you can see also on the right side a quick screenshot of the application which we are going to build here. We will be having once again an employee manager hierarchy, where you can see here it shows the employee and manager relationship. So let's say you can see Sonia Nera, she's a manager, and she has two reportees as a hierarchical nodes here, as a children nodes in this hierarchy, and these two have a productivity utilization of something, and then this gets aggregated at the top level, and also the cost center information is as well visible in this hierarchy. So this is an end-to-end scenario. We will be taking it up, but before we move on, let's discuss about what is hierarchy means, yeah, and why the hierarchies are so important when it comes to BW on HANA, or when it comes to creating an analytical query, as you've been maybe a BW consultant in the past, and now your company is asking you to learn about CDS. How do you now realize the same hierarchical views, hierarchical nodes as part of this S4HANA system? Or probably, if like in this case, I've just shown you the screenshot of the POC which we will be building. How will that can be built for a UI developer to give more flexibility to the end user? So let's discuss what is hierarchy first of all. So what is the purpose, why there is a need of hierarchy? So guys, in simple terms, hierarchy is nothing but is a tree data structure. It's a tree data structure which displays the data in form of parent-child relationship. Why we do that? What is the benefit of doing that? The benefit of doing this, the data can be perceived in form of in a better structure, and end user can relate to it. For example, you are working in a team, and in every company or everywhere wherever you are working, you must be having some hierarchy. Some or the other place you would find some hierarchy. You take it any area in SAP. For just an example, if you take finance area, in finance area, a very popular hierarchy example could be cost center hierarchy. Yeah. So you will have a cost center. So you will have a controlling area. Under this controlling area, we have cost centers. And then these cost centers has different lines inside. Yeah, so this is more of an example of an organization data point of view. So this is how we have the structure of finance. Now when it comes to HR area, if you look at an HR area, you would also have a hierarchy there. A very simple example could be manager. Then maybe you can also have a relationship with the cost center. Once again, as a child of that, you have a manager, and inside that you have a employee. So like in your company, you are working in a team, and you have a reporting manager, and then your manager also part of a cost center. In fact, every employee is mapped to a cost center, and then ultimately it boils down to the employee in the hierarchy. And then you have the every employee has a reporting manager, and that probably has another reporting manager, and that has another reporting manager, and like that we have a complete hierarchy. So that's another example for hierarchies. What else could be more examples? Suppose product lines. So if you're working in sales and distribution, then product lines could be another hierarchy. So for example, if I would say product category of products, and that has something called products. Yeah, so overall you have product categories, let's say foods and beverages, apparels, electronics, goods, all that are different products. And then below that you can have probably the sales data of each of the product as a measure into that hierarchy. So it gives a visual representation to the user. It makes it easy to maintain the data and look at the relationship of the data. And in this hierarchy, let's say for example, if I want to say I want to change cost center of an entire team. Yeah, so it makes it easy if I look at the hierarchy and just change it at the top level, because the moment I change the cost center for manager, all the underlying employee cost center gets updated automatically. So data maintenance kind of becomes easy. At times, you can also control the authorizations in a better way. For example, I impose a authorization on particular cost center, and all the children elements of that hierarchy gets affected by that authorization automatically. So from authorization point of view, from data display point of view, from data maintenance point of view, hierarchy plays a very important role in SAP system. So how can we create a very simple CDS view now which displays the hierarchy? So for that, I have created a small set of tables here, which I will be also demonstrating in my POC document. I've prepared a POC document like we have done the last POC in an S4 HANA system for creating a dashboard using OVP. Similarly, I've also prepared a POC here. So right now, just look at this particular database table, ZOFTEMP that's Employee Manager Database Table. And in this table we have a relationship between employee and manager. Yeah, so you can see some sample record here I have prepared for all of you in our S4 HANA system, which you all have, almost all of you have access to that. And you can see in this we have the employee ID is the key field for this employee manager table, and ultimately a manager is also an employee. So you can see here this record here 259, these are all the employees, and you can also see whom they are reporting to as a manager ID at front of every record. So the records which has 00 as their parent, they are the root nodes, they are the top level managers, or probably you can call them as part of the board members, and then the hierarchy starts from there. So then we have the second level reportee, and you can see in this example this Dennis Dell is a guy, and he reports to a manager 005. And then when you go to 005, it's Jane Scott, and that Jane Scott then has another manager on top of it, it's 002, which is Mahima Sharma. So this is how you can see the hierarchy can be visualized in a horizontal way. But if you would like to represent and prepare some kind of tree data structure, what are all the possible ways we have? So first we'll look at the NetWeaver 7.53 syntax, how to build a simple hierarchy with the help of new syntax, new CDS syntax, and then we'll also go what is the current available annotations to create the hierarchy. So there are two parts I will break down this tutorial. The first part here, we will be looking at creating a very simple employee manager hierarchy, and then consuming that hierarchy data, its parent child nodes, the so-called descendants and ascendants of the tree data structure with an ABAP report. And in the second phase, we will open up this document, read through this complete POC document, and ultimately come out to be creating this POC, this Fiori application, which is then displaying this entire set of data into a tree data structure, including also the a BW report, which is there in S4HANA system. We will be displaying, and this BW report also shows the complete employee manager hierarchy, that the deep level hierarchies, the multi-level hierarchies, and all that we will be doing. So let's move on and start our development for the hierarchy. So I'll switch back to the ABAP system, and I just quickly close this EMDP with CDS table function which we created, and also this IDOC report which we had built by far. And I will just also keep my web ID ready for the new scenario. So okay, let's come back and let's start creating a new CDS. So I'm going to come back and I will use my local objects to do that. So right click, say new, and I'll say create me a new core data service. Data definition. So first of all, we will be creating a very simple master view, which will be displaying just the employee and manager test data. And then it will also have a self-association with itself as employee manager data. That's what we will be doing, the very first thing. And then on top of that, we will be doing an hierarchy. So let me give this name ZOFT underscore FEB. And I will say the name of this is, let's say, employee manager data. Dimension. I say next, and we'll choose define view. And guys, this view will be doing a self-association, because ultimately to build an hierarchy, it's important that we have non-cyclic self-reference. What does it mean? Because a manager is also an employee, right? So to drive that kind of relationship, the hierarchical relationship, a self-reference or self-join is required between the table itself, right? To say, okay, this is the manager, and this is a recursively traversing tree which will display you the data in a hierarchical form. So this is why a self-join is required. So let's start. Click on finish, and I will just start creating it. So let's give a SQL view name, EMPMGR. Make sure that it's less than 16 characters, as usual, as I've told you in the past when we started learning CDS view basics. And now as use S4HANA VDM annotation, as we have also learned in the past classes. What is VDM stands for, why do we use that, all that we have discussed in the past, guys. And let's just use it as a basic view. And I will also put here analytical data category dot data category, and it's going to be of category dimension, because we are representing here the dimension data. So I'm going to pick up my database table name. So what is my database table name? Let's go on the top. It's ZOFT EMP MGR, guys. I have prepared this data set already for you, and I have also prepared a small report program which will populate these data tables automatically. Yes, guys, I've done that. So I will be sharing that report program in the next phase of this tutorial. In that phase, you will go and use that. Just replicate my database tables and run that report program. It will populate these two database tables with some sample records. And then you can realize these scenarios right away in your S4HANA system, wherever you are. All right, let's come back and just give the table name. And make sure that you give an association of this table by itself. Yeah, that's what we have to do it. So let's give a self-association, self-join, and that's going to be a join between this view and this view itself. So I'm going to say association. And we will be keeping here the cardinality 1:*. The reason being, if you observe the test data, let me open the test data then to just show you, because we have also multi-level hierarchies in this example. This is a little complex one I have taken to make you understand everything. So in this we have multi-level hierarchy, because there is one guy reporting to a manager, and that manager is reporting to another level of manager. This is the kind of example we are taking, and that's the reason we would have this multi one to star as the association. So you can see in this example there is an employee, Dennis Dell, who is reporting to manager 5. And if I just go and check the 5, which is Jane Scott, this guy is again further reporting to another manager 002, which is in this case Mahima Sharma. Yeah, so this is exactly the reason why I had put multiple association, because it's multi-level hierarchy in this case. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to come back, and put association as one is to star. If you think there is just one-to-one mapping, or there is no multi-level, you can simply put the aggregate the association cardinality as 0 to 1. But if you feel there are multi-level hierarchies which you probably plan to build, in that case the association cardinality should be 1 is to star. Now this association is with the self join, because we have to look at the manager information within the same table, because manager is also an employee. So let's put here as manager, and on dollar projection, and I'm just going to include here both the fields. So I will be making the employee field as a key field. So let's do that. Control space, and I'll say employee ID as employee, and then I will say key manager ID as manager. So ultimately this manager is also an employee. So dollar projection dot manager is equals to employee. That's also an employee ultimately. So that's the relationship between both of them. Let's also do an exposed association, as we learned in the past class. What is exposed association? I will save this view and activate this. Let me just activate and just do a quick data preview, just to be very sure, okay, the data is coming or not. Yes, it's coming. So this is kind of data it is prepared, and now on top of this we will be creating quickly an hierarchy. So let's go ahead and do that. And guys, ADT gives you this feature to generate the code automatically as a template for yourself. And this was the last ADT option, which was some of you is also asking about what is this hierarchy option in ADT. So this is what we are going to try here. So let's create ZFD web hire with new CDS syntax. And I'm going to say next. And now you just come down, guys, you will find an option called define parent child hierarchy. This is the option we have. It's also possible to define the hierarchy with parameters, and these parameters becomes the selection conditions, as we have seen already in the past. Simple view with parameters. So the same concept applies also to hierarchy. Suppose if you want to filter and get the hierarchy of a cost center, you can also pass cost center as a parameter. Yeah, or maybe a country as a parameter. I want to see what is the complete hierarchy of my employees and managers in my APJ region, or specifically maybe in the India country. I want to get the complete hierarchy starting from CEO to the L1 level managers, to the L2 level managers, to the managers, CIOs, and then under that you have sub managers, or maybe senior VPs, directors, and then we have managers, line managers, technical managers, delivery managers, and under that employees. So I just want to get only hierarchy in India. So in that case, country could be an import parameter, or maybe a cost center could be an import parameter. So that's completely possible. So I'm going to use a simple one, and I say finish. And you see it will nicely kind of generates the code for us automatically. Yeah, so that's what it does. So where is that code gone? Just go here. You can see this is the code it has generated, and now I will be putting it as a parent-child hierarchy. That source of the data is my previously generated master view, the dimension view. So let me just go and take this dimension view name and put it over here, and I'll say this is going to be a parent-child relationship. And the association which I had put over there was underscore manager. So that association also comes over here as a child to parent association. I put that over here, and then it starts with it starts where some element is there. So you can also put here, guys, what is the point from where the hierarchy should start reading. Yeah, that's a kind of where condition you can put, and this is the where condition where you can also put a parameter as a value. So right now I don't need this because I just want to keep it so simple. So I will remove this where condition. So child to parent association name, and then we have siblings order by. So in what order you want to sort the data. So you can say I want to sort the data based on employee field in ascending order. and I will say multiple parents are allowed, because as we have seen, we have that possibility. In our test data, we saw that there is one manager who is reporting to another manager, and that's how we have multiple parents also possible for within the hierarchy. Yeah, so that's what I have allowed that. And now here we can put the fields employee and manager, and that's how we are end up creating our first hierarchy in the system. I'm going to save this hierarchy. It's always a good practice to also give annotations on the top for the end user text label. As we keep on doing that, we have already learned a lot of different annotations in our course. What is these annotations does, how do they play an important role when they are consumed by analytical tools like IRSRT or RSRTS, RTS, ODPDs, or probably the Fiori application, or in the OData service. So we've seen a lot of different consumption, BOPF consumption, and all that stuff in our course, right? So this is all we've learned. And now I'm just going to give this some name. So maybe this is simple hierarchy in ABAP CDS. Just save this up and activate. So now, how do you consume this in an ABAP report program? So you have built a very nice hierarchy. That's so cool. And now it's time that we can consume this information somehow, right? So to consume that, there is a special OpenSQL statement which SAP has provided, and that's basically in a select statement. You can use hierarchy descendants or hierarchy ascendants or complete hierarchy also. You can read it. So let's go ahead and see that. I will write a quick report program to consume this hierarchy now in an ABAP report and see how it can read the information from the tree data structure which it is going to generate. So if you just run this here, you would see still the hierarchy now it's being built. So those records which you were seeing earlier, now they are also coming in form of an hierarchy. You may not see a big difference over here, but major difference comes when you start consuming it. So let's write a report program quickly. So I'll come to my user, and now I go to other repository, and then we will just quickly switch to the simple report program, ABAP report program. Let's create a ABAP report source code, ABAP program, and just give name Z read hierarchy, reading a simple ABAP program. Click on next, finish. And now we will be writing. It's very simple, guys. Just one single statement I'm going to write. Select star from hierarchy. And what do you want to read? I want to read hierarchy descendants. Yeah. So you can see you can read a hierarchy entry. You can also read hierarchy ancestors, descendings, and siblings. So it can read complete hierarchy as ancestors, which are actually ancestors, and descendants, all the childrens of a particular node, or siblings, the childrens which are in parallel. So typically, if you look at, you remember the school days or the college days when we learned data structure, this is how probably an hierarchy looks like. So maybe it's a tree data structure, and now we can see like this. This is a hierarchy, typical example of hierarchy here. So you can see there is a root node. This is the node which is the root node, which is the topmost node. A node is something which has children. So this is are all nodes, and now these are the children. So you can see this is the children of this node. Node 3 is the children of node 2, and node 2 is a children of node 1, and these are all the childrens. And now you see node 2 and 4 are siblings. Yeah, they are at the parallel level in the tree data structure. So that's what exactly these different syntax which is offered in select query we can use to read the children's, ascendants, descendants. So I want to read the complete hierarchy with the syntax of descendants. I'll say give me everything of my root node. Yeah, and then I'll say, hey, what is the source? And let's put the source name. So where is my source name? This is my source name. I'm going to come back and put that over here, and I'll say start where employee or maybe a manager is equals to 0, 0. Yeah, so wherever it's a 0, just start with that stage. So let me once again check the data. So I want to start where manager ID is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. How many zeros are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. It's a num-c. So that's why we had added the 5 zeros, and I'll just, and I would like to read all the descendants of this employee ID, yeah, where the manager is this 0. Yeah. So let's start, and I'm gonna put it into database, into table. And this is our inline ABAP syntax, which I taught you in earlier days in our course, guys. All the new ABAP syntax we have covered in this course of ABAP on HANA. What is inline data declaration, chain operator, all these things we have learned already in the past. So I hope you're comfortable with that. And I will just also going to print this data. So you can loop add this data into data work area, and you can just print that up. Oops, there is a problem. So it must expose hierarchy with hierarchy statement. To use the function hierarchy descendants, either entity, this must be an hierarchy, or it must expose a hierarchy with hierarchy. So there is something, are we missing? I think we are missing some syntax. What is that? We hierarchy name. We have done a mistake here in our code. We, instead of using the hierarchy name, we have actually put here the view name, which is incorrect. Let me just change, go back. Actual hierarchy name is this guy. Copy that, come back to the view, put that name, and just save this up. Yeah. So I save this, and you see the error is gone. I'm so sorry. By mistake, since the naming convention is same, I got confused, and by mistake had put not the hierarchy name, but the view name, which is the master view. Okay. It has to be the hierarchy name, which you have to put here. All right. Now we loop at the data, and we're going to print all the records over here. So employee, comma, work area hyphen manager. Now guys, watch out. How do you see this as a big difference? Actually, if you look at the master view, that also giving this same data, right? Now if you look at the master view, you will observe that this view is also producing you the same data. How come the hierarchy makes a big difference for us? Actually, if you go to the hierarchy over here, you would find there is a virtual column which is available in hierarchy. And this virtual column plays a very important role. So for example, if you want to consume this hierarchy from an analytical tool, or you want to consume this hierarchy from a Fiori application, this virtual column, which is so-called dollar node column, it is going to actually give you the levels. It is going to tell you who is the parent of who is the sibling of who is the descendant of whom. All this information is held inside this virtual node. So that's the virtual node which is available with every hierarchy. So let me show you adding that node. So use dollar node. That only comes when you're working with hierarchy. And you see guys, here a lot of different properties are available with this virtual node. This is something which is the added advantage when we work with hierarchy as compared to a normal CDS view, which also depicting probably, you can make out the parent child, but this is the biggest advantage of using the hierarchy. So you see all these virtual properties are available to us. So let me add that. So node ID, and then I'll use dollar node parent ID. Yeah. And then I will use dollar. So this gives a biggest advantage. So instead of having multiple tables, we have this feature of dollar node, which we can use to read the hierarchy level. Yeah. All these properties you can use. So dollar node. Then we have hierarchy is orphan. This node is orphan or not. So it prints you every node information for you, right? Is it cyclic? Then we have dollar node dot. Then we have parent rank. Then we have hierarchy rank. So you can use all these properties, and basically this will be fed to the ALV control or anything else, whichever you need. Tree size. You see node dot tree size. There is a property. You can use that tree size. So all these informations are absolutely freely available to you when you work with hierarchy. Yeah, this is the biggest advantage of using hierarchy, guys. All right, it's giving an error because I supposed to give an alias name for everything, so I will just say as node name. Remember, it's not case sensitive, so you can write in any case. I'll just say parent ID, hierarchy level. parent rank, size. So I've added all these properties in alias and let me activate that up. And now watch out the preview of this data. You can preview or you can also go to ABAP system and you get all those columns also visible here. And you can see hierarchy cycle, level node. Of course, you can consume them, but let me just run this first on this view itself, view preview, execute, and you see, guys, this is the metadata information which you don't have to evaluate or do it by yourself. That is the biggest advantage of building hierarchy. This information is actually the metadata to the applications, to the ALV or to the Fiori application or to the analytical tools to understand how each node is dependent on another node. I hope this makes it clear to everyone. Why would we have created here the hierarchy, though just the master data itself or just the dimension data itself was able to give us the detailed information. This is the biggest added advantage of using hierarchy. All right, let's go back and see the response in the ABAP system now. What does the ABAP system shows you? I'm just going to activate this program and we will also quickly debug to see what additional information do we get out of it. So I'm going to execute this ABAP program. It's going to hit my breakpoint. So there you go. It's starting the debugger in ABAP development tools in Eclipse as usual. And let's look at this iTab now. And I have got 27 nodes. And you see, guys, the employee ID, the node ID, parent ID, hierarchy level, all this information is now readily available nicely to you as part of your result. And this is the main information. This is the information why we had created the hierarchy for. So I hope you enjoyed this session. I hope you liked it. Thank you so much. Keep watching on my YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do subscribe. And thank you so much once again for be with me. And if you want to look at this complete tutorial, you can always write it to me. You can subscribe to also the YouTube channel so that you don't miss out these videos as and when they are available. This is an exclusive video as part of my Anubhav learning series because I've been getting a lot of inquiries about the CDS hierarchy. Many of you were asking, Anubhav, how can we do that? If you want to refer to the complete tutorial, do not hesitate to go to onlinefiorytrainings.com and subscribe to the ABAP on HANA training, ABAP on HANA module. That's something, and check out when is the next batch is planned, so that you can be part of the live batch, and then you can also understand in depth all these concepts from scratch. If you are an ABAPer, definitely this course is going to help you in long run, because this is where the entire industry is now slowly moving towards. So this is the course you have to subscribe if you are a fresher, if you're just an ABAPer and you want to understand all these latest things like CDS views, AMDPs, ADBCs, SQL scripting, new ABAP syntax, what are all the different tools available for performance tuning, different types of scenarios you want to see, how to build end-to-end Fiori application, how to work with annotation. All these are covered as part of my ABAP on HANA training. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day and goodbye.